village of Akula was a big and prosperous village nestled between mountains and oceans. Among its neighboring villages, Akula village was known for its vast agriculture and hardworking men. For example, if people from the neighboring villages had a mega project on their farm and needed men to work for them, they would travel to Akula village to hire men. In Akula village, there lived a man named Eze. Eze was a very hardworking young man and farmer. After his father's untimely demise, Eze took over the farmlands and worked very hard to provide for his family. Aside from being a farmer, Eze was a trader. He owned a big clothing store in the local market where he sold both male and female wares. The only bad thing about Eze was that he dropped out of secondary school after his father passed away, so he could focus on farming and caring for his family. In Akula village, there was also a beautiful young girl named Soma. Soma was the only child and daughter of her widowed mother, and they lived in a small house. Since Akula village was a pretty small village where everyone knew one another, Eze knew Soma and her mother well. As of the time Eze was 17 years old, Soma was only 14. Right from his early secondary school days, Eze loved Soma, but no matter what he did to express his love, Soma didn't love him. In fact, Eze had been trying to date Soma from the time he was 17 until he was 23. To Eze, Soma was the most beautiful girl in their village, and he didn't want to be with any other woman except her. Soma, I have been calling you since. Why are you ignoring me, Eze asked Soma. That morning, Eze was on his way to his farm when he spotted Soma returning from the stream with a water pot on her head. Eze, what is it? Why won't you leave me alone? How many times do I have to tell you that I am not interested in you? Soma yelled at Eze. Baby, it's not like that now. Why are you always acting like a tigress whenever I talk to you? Is it because you know I like you? Eze said. And I have been telling you that I do not like you. Am I the only girl in this village? Why don't you find another girl and leave me alone? Soma yelled at him. Hey, Soma, it is you I want. Why don't you give me a chance? I promise I will do whatever you want. I love you. You know I do. That's why you have been treating me like this. Eze said. Eze, I'm warning you. If you stop me again like this, you will not like what I will do to you. Rubbish. Soma yelled at him, then she hissed and walked away. Since Eze was already used to Soma's attitude towards him, he smiled and walked away. You just do shakara. One day you will be my wife, and I know it, Eze soliloquized as he walked away. Shortly after Soma left Eze, she arrived at her late father's compound and emptied the water she had fetched from the stream into a drum. Soma, what is the issue? I saw you murmuring into the compound, Soma's mother said. Good morning, Mama. I hope I didn't wake you, Soma greeted her mother. No, I was already awake before you returned home. Now tell me why my princess is frowning this early morning, Soma's mother said. Is he not that stupid, Eze? That boy will not let me rest in this village. Despite how many times I have warned him to stay away from me, he still stopped me this morning, Soma said. Hey, but Soma, I have told you to stop being rude to Eze. He is a good boy and he loves you. In my days, if a man disturbed a lady for so long, it only proved that he loved her. Eze loves you, so why don't you give him a chance? He's a hard-working man and he's from a decent family. What more do you want? Soma's mother said. Mama, please don't even start. I don't even know what you see in Eze. There is nothing fine about him. I have already told you that I love Tobe and want to marry him, Soma said. Will you shut up? What do you know about love? Eh? Is it the useless Tobe who can barely care for himself that you want to marry? The same boy who goes around disrespecting his elders in this village? Soma's mother yelled. Mama, Tobe is such a nice person. It's just that you guys do not understand him. There is nothing I want that Tobe doesn't give to me. I don't understand why you people do not like him. Soma defended him. Look at you. I have told you what is good for you, but you are still saying nonsense. Every time you talk about furthering your education, is it that useless Tobe that will see you through school? Eh? You better stop joking. I pity you. Now that you have seen a man who loves you and is ready to take care of you, you are acting stupid. Eh? Don't say I didn't tell you. A word is enough for the wise, Soma's mother said. Then she returned to her room. What? Is it my force to date or marry someone I do not love? You married the man you loved. You will not force me to be with someone I don't love. Never! Soma soliloquized. Later that afternoon, Soma went to see her boyfriend, Tobe. While they were eating and talking, she told him everything her mother had said about him. Your mother is really underestimating me, eh? She doesn't know that I have the tendency of marrying 5 wives if I want. Easy not to sell my family land and get the money. You better warn her, Tobe said. I don't understand. What do you mean by having the tendency of marrying 5 wives? Is that what you plan on doing? Soma asked in shock. Look at this one, eh? I have told you many times that I cannot marry just 1 wife. But do not worry. You will be my first wife since I will be marrying you first. Eh? Tobe bragged. Tobe, you are very funny, oh. How can you sell your family land for something as stupid as marriage? Why don't you use the money to further your education instead? Soma said. What stupid education? What business do I have with school? See, school is not for me. Why would I waste so much money on something I cannot see? All those who claim they are teachers are scammers. They have nothing to show. They just scam the stupid ones into believing that they are teaching them. Tobe said. So, what about me? Won't you sponsor me to the university? I have told you that it's my dream to become a lawyer one day. Soma said. See, once I marry you, forget about anything related to school. Who will take care of me and the children if you go to school? Aside from that, none of the women I will marry will have business with school. They need to be available to farm and look after my children. Tobe bragged mildly. Are you serious? Soma asked in shock. Look at this one. Did I put water in my mouth while speaking? Of course I am serious. I want traditional women, not the women that will think they are better than me because they went to school. Tobe said. But I told you this already and you said no problem. What changed? Soma asked. When I said no problem, I didn't say I had accepted. I simply said no problem. I don't even know what you see in school, Seth, that you are so serious about it. Tobe said. My mother was right about you. You don't even care about your life. Talk more of another person's life. Anyway, now that you have told me what's on your mind, we do not need to keep seeing each other. Please, do not come to my house to look for me. I don't want anything to do with you again, Soma said, and then she walked away from him. Because Soma was very heartbroken, she went home in tears. Unluckily, her mother had already returned home before she did. Soma, what is the problem? Did you get into a fight? Soma's mother asked in a concerned tone when she saw Soma crying. Talk to me. What is the problem? Why are you crying? Soma's mother asked again when Soma didn't respond the first time.
Mama, it's Tobe!
Soma said. Did that fool hit you? I have warned you to cut ties with that boy, but you have refused to listen. Soma's mother yelled.
No, Mama, he didn't. He just said some things that shattered my heart.
Soma said in a teary voice. What did he say? Eh? Soma's mother asked.
He said that he will marry 5 wives, and after he marries me, I should forget about furthering my education.
Soma said in a teary voice. When Soma said that, she expected that her mother would console her or even curse at Tobe, but she didn't. Instead, she burst into a hearty laughter. Didn't I tell you that boy was useless? Eh? Soma's mother laughed as she spoke. I did, but you wouldn't listen, eh? Soma's mother said.
Mama, I don't like what you are doing, no. If I knew that you would laugh at me and make me feel worse, I wouldn't have told you.
Soma said in a teary voice. My dear, you should even be happy that he told you on time. What if he had impregnated you first, eh? What would you have done? Soma's mother said.
But I really loved him. I thought he was the one and I could help him become a better person. I had already envisioned a future with him.
Soma cried. Oya, it's time to use an eraser and erase the future you envisioned. I told you several times that Tobe was not the right man for you. But you said, I was trying to stop you from marrying the man you loved. Do you know what it means for a man to marry 5 wives? Eh? You do not want to be in such a home. Soma's mother said, regarding your education, as much as I would love for you to go to the university and make me proud, you know I cannot afford it. I am a widow and I have nothing. If your father was still alive, maybe it would have been possible. But as it is, you need to find someone who will help you achieve that goal. Someone like Eze, to be precise. Soma's mother said.
Mama, please leave Eze out of this conversation. He's not the only man in this village. I don't know why you keep insisting on him.
Soma said. That's because Eze is a good boy, and he's the kind of man that will take good care of his woman. I can tell from the way he looks at you that he genuinely loves you. I am not asking you to throw yourself at him. Just think about him and observe him for a while. If you do not like him, there is no problem with that. But do not completely write him off. If another girl takes him, you will regret it, oh. Soma's mother said.
I've heard you, Mama. I will think about what you have said. It's not like I do not like Eze. It's just that his body odor is too much and he talks anyhow.
Soma said. If you date him, you will know how to handle that. Body odor is not a problem. I'm sure there are things out there that can help him with that. You can buy all those nice smelling perfumes for him and you teach him how to talk well. Eze is the kind of man you will enjoy until your old age. I know what I'm saying. Soma's mother said.
Like I said earlier, I have heard you and will think about what you said. For now, I just want to recover from the heartbreak Tobe gave me. I don't know why a fine boy like him would be so stupid.
Soma said. Well, you better not wait too long. By now, you already know that you are not the only beautiful girl in this village. Soma's mother said. A few days after Soma had that discussion with her mother, she went to the market to buy some things for her mother. While trying to bargain the price of meat with the meat seller, Soma heard a familiar voice from behind her. It was Eze's voice. Hey, I knew it. I was so sure you were the one. I can even recognize you from a distance. Eze bragged proudly as he walked closer to Soma. "Hi, my baby. How are you? Eze said, but Soma did not respond at first. "Talk to me now. What did I do that you hate me so much?" Eze said.
Eze, I don't hate you. I just do not like the way you harass me all the time.
Soma said. Harass you? Wetin that one mean? I never hear am before. Eze said innocently. Immediately after he said that, Soma burst into laughter.
It means you are always disturbing me,
Soma said. But why won't I disturb you? If you love someone, you must let the person know say you love am. Eze said.
It's okay,
Soma said to Eze. How much is the meat? She turned to the meat seller. It's just 1,000 naira. The meat seller said.
Can't I pay 500? The meat is not even that big.
Soma said. My baby, you cannot be doing this when I am here. How much is that bigger meat? Eze said, pointing to a bigger chunk of meat. It's 4,000, sir. The meat seller said. Oh, yeah, cut that one for her. This is my baby. I cannot let her and my future mother-in-law eat 500 naira meat. Not when I'm here, Eze said.
No, Eze. The meat is too much. What will we use it for?
Soma said. You can use it for whatever you want, Eze said as he handed some money to the meat seller.
Thank you very much,
Soma said. You are welcome, my baby. Like I said before, I will do anything for you. Just give me a chance to show you how much I love you, Eze said.
Because you have been nice to me today, I will think about everything you have said and give you feedback by the weekend,
Soma said. Hey, please, my baby, let the feedback be positive, Biko. If it's positive, then I will be the happiest man in this village, Eze said.
All right, I will see you by the weekend,
Soma said. Give my regards to your mother, Eze said as Soma walked away. Immediately Soma arrived at her late father's compound. She began to scream for her mother to come out of the house.
Mama! Mama! Come on!
Soma called her mother excitedly. What is it? Soma's mother asked. Why are you screaming this hot afternoon? She added.
Hey, Mama! See what I brought home!
Soma said as she showed her mother the meat. Soma, what happened? Did you steal all of this meat? Soma's mother asked in shock.
God forbid, Mama! I am not a thief and will never be! It's Eze, oh!
Soma smiled. What do you mean? Is Eze now selling meat? Soma's mother asked.
No, Mama. I was trying to buy meat from the meat seller when Eze came and bought this one for me. He said that the other one was too small, so he told the meat seller to give me something bigger, and he paid for it,
Soma said. Hey, you see? You see what I have been talking about? That guy loves you, but you have been playing hard to get. That's your stupid ex-boyfriend, Tobe. When did he ever buy you something you could bring to this house? All he knew was to carry his big chest and walk around this village, Soma's mother said.
That's not all, Mama. He professed his love to me again. And I told him I would give him feedback by the weekend,
Soma said. Did you really say that? What will your response be? Soma's mother asked.
What else, Mama? It will be yes! Even if I do not love him now, I know I will grow to love him as we spend more time together,
Soma said. Hey, that's my daughter. Now you are talking and acting like the daughter of a lioness, You are making the right decision, my dear, and I assure you that you will not regret it. If Eze was not good for you, I wouldn't tell you to marry him, Soma's mother said.
I know, Mama. After what happened with Tobe, I learned something very important. On Saturday, I will go to Eze's shop in the market and give him my response. But I have one request,
Soma said. What's the request? Soma's mother asked.
I do not want you to rush us into getting married. I want to start school or at least complete my university education before marriage,
Soma said. I won't. But I think it's important that you discuss this with Eze too. After all, I am not the one who will marry you. It's him, Soma's mother said.
Okay, Mama. When the time comes, I will tell him everything,
Soma said. Later that weekend, as Soma had planned, she went to Eze's clothing shop at the market and gave him her feedback. My baby, thank you very much for saying yes to me. You don't know what this means to me, Eze said excitedly.
But you must promise me that I'll be the only person in your life. I don't want to struggle with the other girls,
Soma said. Baby, you are the only one in my life and will remain the only one. I can't wait to take you to my mother and sisters, Eze said.
I'm sure I will meet them very soon. But for now, let's focus on getting to know ourselves better,
Soma said.
Tell me everything about you, and I will tell you about myself too,
she added. As time passed, Eze and Soma became very close. In fact, the second week they started dating, Eze met Soma's mother and introduced her to his mother and sisters. In less than 3 months of their relationship, Soma's life transformed. Every week, Eze would give Soma some money for her upkeep, and anytime he harvested crops from his farm, he would give some to Soma and her mother. In addition to that, Eze would allow Soma to take the clothes she liked from his store, and even if she took too many, he would never complain. 6 months after Soma and Eze began dating, Soma told him about her desire to further her education. I think it's a good thing for you to want to go to the university. You know I'm not really educated, and it would make me proud if my baby were to educate herself to the fullest, Eze said.
Really? So does that mean you will support me?
Soma asked. Of course, my love. What will I gain if I don't support you, eh? You know I love you very much, and I will do anything for you, Eze said.
Aw, thank you, babe. There's also something else I wanted to say,
Soma said. What is that? Eze asked.
I know you have been discussing marriage recently, but I want to complete my education before we get married. If we get married now, it might distract me, especially if God blesses us with children. This is just the only request I have for you,
Soma said. I understand, but don't you think we should at least do some traditional rites first? If you are not comfortable with us having children yet, we can hold on, Eze said.
Babe, trust me. I know what I am doing. It's just for the best. You just need to help me as much as you can, and I will do my part. See, school is not as easy as you think, and since I'll be staying in the city, it does not make any sense for us to get married and then I leave you here,
Soma said. It's okay. If that is what you want, then there is no problem, eh? What is most important is that you complete your education. So, when do you want to start? This year or next year? Eze said.
This year, please. I have already spent some years at home and it's not wise to keep wasting time. The earlier the better,
Soma said. All right. If that is what you want, then you have my support. Just let me know how much you will need so I can plan properly, eh? Eze said.
First, I will have to write an important exam. Then by God's grace, I will get admitted into the university before the year ends,
Soma said. There is no problem. Just let me know when you are ready. Oh? Eze said. Some months later, Soma wrote the examination she talked about and she passed it. In addition, she got admitted into the same university she wanted. The day Soma learned that she had gotten admission, she rushed to Eze's house to tell him. When Eze heard the good news, he was very happy and told his mother about it. Eze, my son, I know that what you want to do is a very good thing, but don't you think you should marry Soma first? I have heard many stories of women who forgot about the men who sent them to school after they became successful. You need to think carefully about this, Eze's mother said. Mama, we have already had this conversation and I have told you several times that Soma is a good girl. She wouldn't leave me for another person. She is not that kind of person, Eze said. Eze, things change and people grow. What if she says she doesn't want you again after you sponsor her through school? Have you forgotten what that Chioma girl did to Maazi Ebuka's son? Eze's mother said. Mama, Maazi Ebuka's son was at fault. He knew who Chioma was before he dated her. But I assure you, my Soma Tochukwu is not like that. She will never do such a thing. Eze bragged mildly. I'll be here when it happens. Don't say I didn't warn you. You have sacrificed so much for that girl and her mother. Before you do this particular one, I still insist that you marry her first. Biko, I am your mother and I know what's good for you. I wouldn't want to be hurt because of your good heart, Eze's mother said. I have heard you, Mama, Eze said. A few weeks after Soma gained admission, Eze gave her some money to pay her school fees and rent an apartment close to school. He also gave her some new clothes from his store and bought a lot of foodstuffs for her to take to school. Babe, this money you gave me will not be enough, oh. You know that I will be away for 2 months. How will I manage this kind of small money? Soma said. Soma, how will 100k not be enough for 2 months? What do you want to use it for? I have already gotten you everything you need. You have foodstuff too. This one is just for you to take care of the little things you will need, Eze said. It will not be enough. I'm telling you now because I will call you again for money and I don't want you to give me any excuse, Soma said. Babeem, don't do this now, You know how much I have spent these past few weeks. Please, manage what I have given you. You know I am also the breadwinner of my family and I still have to take care of my mother and sisters, Eze said. But I am your future wife. Shouldn't I come first? You promised to support me. I don't want a situation where I'll struggle in school because of you. If you knew you wouldn't be able to support me till the end, you shouldn't have encouraged me to go. I cannot be thinking about school and money at the same time now, Soma said. It's okay. I have heard you. Call me when you need money and I will see what I can do, Eze said. 2 days after their conversation, Soma left for school. The first few months after Soma left for school, she and Eze spoke every night over the phone. Sometimes, Eze would call her to ask about her day, and other times, she would call Eze first to tell him about her day. This continued for almost a year until it suddenly stopped. Whenever Eze tried to contact Soma, she would either switch off her phone or tell him that she wasn't available to talk at that moment. My baby, I don't like all these things you are doing. Last month, you told me you couldn't take my calls because you were busy preparing for your exams. Now that you have written the exams, why don't you talk to me? After today, I don't know when next I will talk to you, Eze said. Eze, but I told you I was very busy. What did you want me to do? Besides, you didn't send the money I requested, so I wasn't happy with you, Soma said. Hey, do you see your life? You only pick up my calls when you need something, and I don't like it. Anyways, I'm calling to ask when you will be coming home for your break, Eze said.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't think I'll be coming back home. Since we have just 3 weeks break, I think it's better if I stay here at once and rest.
Soma said. Soma, this was not our agreement, oh. I haven't seen you in months, and now that you have the opportunity to come back home, you don't want to. I'm not happy at all. Don't you think about me? Eze said in a sad voice.
But we saw each other 2 months ago. I just want to remain in the city for a while. You know how school stressed me this semester. Don't worry. After I have rested enough, I will come and visit you and Mama.
Soma said. Please do. In fact, if you want me to leave the village to come and visit you, I will do that. After all, there's nothing that I am doing here, Eze said.
No, you cannot do that. If you leave the village, who will make money for us? Speaking of money, that reminds me. My rent will be due in a month and I wanted to remind you since you haven't said anything about it.
Soma said. How much do you need for everything? Your school fees, books, rent and everything else? Eze asked.
Everything is like 400k.
Soma said. 400k? Where do you want me to get that kind of money from? Eze asked in shock.
Babe, I don't like it when you do this. Ordinary 400k and you are complaining. My friend's boyfriend gives her 500k every month as her upkeep money. But I don't ask you for all that. Why are you always making me feel like I'm not good enough for you? You complain about everything I ask you for.
Soma said. Soma, why are you talking like this now? You know that I'm not complaining because of you. It's just that the money is too much. You know I'm a small-scale farmer and the breadwinner of my family. Can I please give you 300k? Eze asked.
So when you give me the 300k, I should go and do a shower to get the other 100k back?
Soma yelled. Why would you say such a thing? All I'm trying to say is that you should manage the 300k. Try to do the only important things. I'm sure there are things you can cut from your list, Eze said.
Listen, babe. If you cannot give me the 400k, please do not call me again so I know that I have no one. There's no time that I ask you for something that you do not remind me that you are the breadwinner of your family. Since your family is very important, go and focus on them,
Soma said, and she ended the call. When Soma ended the call on Eze, he was very heartbroken. In the past months, Eze had spent a lot of money on Soma and her mother. Even while Soma was at school, Eze still cared for her mother in the village. There was even a time when Eze had to borrow money from his friend so he could give it to Soma. But despite everything he did for her, she didn't appreciate anything. In the days that followed, Eze tried calling Soma several times, but she deliberately refused to pick up his calls. When Eze realized Soma would not take his calls unless he gave her the money she had asked for, Eze decided to borrow some money from his mother. Eze, this is really getting out of hand. I know going to the university is expensive, but this is too much. Is it every week you must send money to this girl? She is not even your wife, Eze's mother said. She's not my wife yet, Mama. But she will be. I heard that they are always buying books and handouts at the university and we don't know how much each costs. The other day, I had to give her 10k for one handout. And according to her, not all prices are the same. Some lecturers can decide to make their own cheaper and others can decide to make it more expensive, Eze explained to his mother. I do not care about what you are saying, All I am saying is that this girl is not your responsibility. Why are you doing all these things while her mother is still alive? The worst is, if you do not give her what she wants, she will stop talking to you.
Is that how you treat someone who has sacrificed so much for you?
Eze's mother said. Mama, please just give me the 200k and forget about what I want to use it for.
I will pay you back once I harvest and sell my crops, Eze said. Eze, I hope you realize what you are doing before it's too late. The same person you claim loves you so much is the same person who cannot come home and visit you. Don't you think she is playing you? The least she can do is to come home to see her benefactor, but you are letting her use your head like a small boy, Eze's mother said. Mama, I don't like all these things you are saying. If you don't want to give me the money, then say so. Soma is my woman, and the sooner you accept that, the better, Eze said, and then he walked away. 1 week later, Eze raised the 400k and he sent everything to Soma, expecting that she would take his calls, but she didn't. 3 days later, Soma eventually picked up Eze's call, and when she did, she screamed at him. Eze, what is the problem that you will not let my phone rest? Eh?
Soma yelled. Baby, what did I ever do to you? I sent you the money and I have been calling to find out if you got it, Eze said.
Yes, I did. But that's not an excuse for you to call me 20 times a day.
Soma yelled. If you had picked up my call the first time, would I have called you? That aside, when will you be coming home to see me? I have missed you so much, Eze said.
So because you sent me 400k, you think you can blow my phone however you like? That's one thing I will not accept. If you call me twice and I do not pick up, you should know I will call you whenever I'm less busy,
Soma said. Hey, Omali Chanwam, I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Please, tell me when you will be coming home. I have missed you so much that I even see you in my dreams, Eze said.
I'll let you know when I'm coming home, but for now, I don't know,
Soma said. Baby, this is not fair now. How long do you want to keep doing this? Even if you come home and spend a week with us, that's okay, Eze said.
Eze, I'm sorry, I have to go now. I was preparing for night class when you called, so I have to leave now.
Soma ended the call without waiting for Eze to respond. Hey, why is this girl doing this? Is it because she knows I love her? Eze soliloquized. The following day, Eze was attending to a customer in his clothing store when one of his friends stopped by to see him. The one and only Eze. My brother, how you doing now? Eze's friend greeted Eze. I do. We just manage for here. How are you doing? Eze asked. It's not easy at all. This traveling to the city every week to supply my customers with eggs is not easy, Eze's friend said. I know. It's not easy anywhere. But God will help us. He always does, Eze said. How's your babe? I saw her with her mother last week. Oh, Mo, you dey try for that babe. She's way finer than when you met her, Eze's friend said. Do you mean Soma? Eze asked in shock. Yes, nah. How many babes you get? Abi, you don't get another one and I know Sabi? Eze's friend said. Where did you see her and her mother? Eze asked. I think it was around the village square. I can't really remember where, but I know I saw her last week, Eze's friend said. That's not possible now. Soma has not come to this village for months. If she had come, she would have visited me. I think you saw someone else that looks like her, Eze said. What are you saying? I saw Soma and her mother last week. Even if I mistook someone else for Soma, don't I know her mother? Eze's friend said. I will go and confirm from her mother this evening. I don't think Soma can come to this village and not see me. That's not possible, Mbanu, Eze said. No problem. Let me be on my way. I just wanted to stop by and say hello to you. It has been a while since we saw ourselves last, Eze's friend said. "Thank you, my friend. I hope to see you soon," Eze said. Later that evening, after Eze closed his store at the market, he went straight to Soma's mother's house. "Good evening, Mama." Eze greeted Soma's mother, who was sitting outside with a young man. "Good afternoon, Eze. How are you?" Soma's mother asked. Mama, I heard that Soma was in this village last week. Is that true?" Eze asked in a shaky voice. "Who told you that?" Soma's mother asked. "Mama, it doesn't matter who told me. I just want to find out if Soma came to this village last week and didn't see me." Eze yelled. "Yes, she did. What will you do? She told me she didn't want to see you, and I couldn't force her. Besides, she brought the rich and educated bachelor who wants to marry her," Soma's mother said. I don't understand, Mama. What do you mean? Is Soma marrying someone else?" Eze asked. "Not someone else. She is marrying the man you are looking at," Soma's mother said, pointing at the man who was sitting beside her. "No, I don't believe this. I have to hear from Soma's mouth. She would never do such a thing to me. Not after everything I did for her," Eze said in a shaky voice. "Eze, please shut up! What exactly did you do for Soma that another man has not done before? Even if you say you did something for Soma, did she force you to do it? I now understand why Soma never wanted you in the beginning. You are just too arrogant," Soma's mother yelled at him. Mama, I cannot believe you are saying this. If Soma was here, would you say that?" Eze said in a teary voice. "And who said that I'm not here?" Soma said as she came out of the living room. The whole time, Soma was hiding in the house. She ran inside when she spotted Eze coming to her compound. Soma, so it is true. Please, tell me your mother is just playing with me," Eze said. "Eze, no one is playing with you. Everything my mother said is the truth. I brought home a rich and educated man. I do not see myself spending the rest of my life with an illiterate like you. God forbid," Soma said. "So, what about everything I did for you? Soma, please, don't do this. I love you and promise to do my best for you. In fact, from now on, I will not complain again." Eze begged and cried. "Eze, I'm sorry, but it's too late. My traditional marriage is next week. After that, I will return to the city with my husband. If you want him to refund all the money you have spent on me, I can tell him to do that," Soma said. That whole time, Eze did not even know that Soma was pregnant. It wasn't until she lifted her blouse that he saw the baby bump. After hours of crying and begging Soma, Eze finally returned home and he told his mother everything that had happened, and she consoled him. Even after Soma got married to her husband and left for the city, Eze could not believe that the woman he loved could betray him like that. Although he later met a woman who loved him genuinely, it took him years to forget the hurt and betrayal he faced. The end. Did you enjoy this story? Tell us your favorite part in the comment section below. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Also, do not forget to follow our channel on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you.